Today for episode 1 of how to build the Glide minigames lobby, we'll be building the fountain. This is the center of the Glide lobby, and like in my two previous series covering how to build the classic and of course abandoned lobbies, it's the best place for us to start. Now as a note, before we do get started with this series, I would highly recommend you watch my two other series regarding how to build the different minigame lobbies before you watch this one. Now this isn't only because I of course want the views, but also because in this series, specifically in this episode, I'll be building onto what we have already built in the two previous series. That's because this is the third part of a 3-part series teaching people how to build a one-to-one replica of the Glide minigames lobby. So with this in mind, if you're watching as someone who hasn't watched my two previous series and are only here to build the Glide lobby, some things might be a little bit different for you, but don't worry, it should still be easy enough to follow along. Now before we do get started with this tutorial, here are the materials needed for it. These are kind of exact, but as always, you might have a little bit extra stone or some other blocks left over, so don't worry if you do. So to get started with building the fountain, you'll first need to find an area in your world where you want the lobby to be, preferably an area that is already flat. As you can see, I'm building above the roof of the abandoned lobby, so I'm going to start building above this specific stone brick. So first we'll place one stone brick, which of course if you're following on from the previous series should already be there. Then we'll place one mossy stone brick, 2 cracked stone bricks, and finally 3 regular stone bricks. Next we'll add 9 stone bricks going across, then 1 polished andesite, 1 cracked stone brick, and finally 9 more stone bricks. Now as a very important note, this will be the front of the fountain, which when the lobby is complete will look like this. So be sure at this point, before going any further forward, you're happy with this being the front. But getting back into building, we'll now move on to the sides of the fountain frame. First, we'll go back to the corner where we started and place 9 stone bricks going back, then 1 polished andesite, and then 10 stone bricks. While we are actually on the side as well, we may as well place our single jungle leaf above the last stone brick. Now moving on to the other side of the fountain frame, we'll first place 3 mossy stone bricks going back, then 2 cracked stone bricks, 4 normal stone bricks, and 1 polished andesite. After that, we're going to place 1 cracked stone brick, 3 mossy stone bricks, 2 normal stone bricks, and finally 4 cracked stone bricks. Then we'll finish the frame of the fountain by working on the back. To start on the back of the fountain frame, we'll simply place 7 stone, 1 stone brick, skip 3 blocks, and on the 4th place 1 stone brick, then 7 stone. Now if you have done everything correctly, you should have a very rough outline of where the fountain is going to be. From here, before we move on, we can really simply just add 2 polished andesite onto each of the 3 andesite we already placed around the fountain, and then 1 stone brick on top, or I guess against the actual end andesite. Now moving on, we're going to get started on working on the center of the fountain. To begin, we'll first be doing a repeating pattern going around the center. This pattern is 5 stone bricks in the middle, then 1 polished andesite on each side, then 3 stone bricks on each side, and lastly 1 polished andesite on each side. It might sound a little bit complex, but this is how the line should look, and essentially we're going to repeat this pattern 3 more times until we've come full circle, or as I should really say, full square. Don't worry if you're a little bit confused. Hopefully I'll be showing myself here just doing this thing very slowly, so you can easily follow along, and hopefully by the end of it fully understand what I'm saying. So this is how the center of the fountain should be looking now if you've done everything correctly. As you can see, we've now got an area for the fountain to be built, but before we do that, let's finish the details around it. So going to the back of the fountain and starting one block away from the edge, we'll first place 9 stone and then 1 polished andesite and then another 9 stone. After that, we'll add 1 more polished andesite, then just fill everything else in with dirt paths. Now that we've done that, we're going to go to the back right hand side of the fountain center and place 1 stone brick stair, 1 cobblestone stair, 1 stone brick stair, then 1 cracked stone brick, and 5 normal stone bricks. Now we're going to move to the opposite side and place 1 stone brick stair, 1 cobblestone stair, 1 stone brick stair, and finally 6 stone bricks. Next, we're going to go behind what we just did and place blocks in rows going from the right side of the fountain to the left side. So for this part, it should be relatively easy to follow, but if it is a little bit too quick or a little bit too difficult, maybe just consider turning down your playback speed if you feel like you're moving a little bit too quickly. So for the first row, we're just going to place 1 stone brick, then 1 stone brick stair above it. For the second row, we're going to place 1 stone brick again, then 1 cobblestone stair above it. For the third row, we're going to place 1 stone brick, then 1 stone brick stair. For the fourth row, we're just going to be placing 1 cracked stone brick. For the fifth row, we're going to be placing 3 oak logs, then 1 cobblestone. For the 6th and 7th rows, we'll be placing 1 cobblestone block, then 1 cobblestone stair, then 1 upside down cobblestone stair, and finally 1 more cobblestone block. As a little note to keep in mind, this pattern that we're doing here with the normal stair placed normally and then the upside down stair placed above it, this will be a pattern that we're going to be doing a few times in this actual little area, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, moving on to the 8th row, we're just going to place 3 oak logs, then 1 cobblestone. For the 9th row, we're going to place 1 upside down stone brick stair, then 2 cobblestone stairs using the same pattern as before, then 1 cobblestone block and 1 slime block. For the 10th row, we're going to place 2 stone brick stairs, then 1 cobblestone and 1 slime block. For the 11th row, we're going to be placing 1 upside down stone brick stair, then 2 cobblestone stairs, then 1 cobblestone block, and finally 1 slime block. For the 12th row, we're going to be placing just 3 oak logs, then 1 cobblestone. For the 13th and 14th rows, we're going to be placing 1 cobblestone block, then 2 cobblestone stairs, and finally 1 more cobblestone block. For the 15th row, we'll be placing 3 oak logs, then 1 cobblestone. For the 16th row, we'll place just 1 stone brick. For the 17th row, we'll be placing 1 stone brick, then 1 stone brick stair. For the 18th row, we'll be placing 1 stone brick, then 1 cobblestone stair. And finally, for the 19th and last row, we're going to be placing 1 stone brick and then 1 stone brick stair. Then to finish this area off, we can just simply place 5 oak trapdoors around these slime blocks. So if you've done everything correctly thus far, this is how things should be looking. Now we are just about finished with the smaller kind of external things around the fountain itself, but we do have to do a couple more small things inside the fountain primarily. So to finish things off, we'll take our stone blocks and place 3 around each corner. Then we're going to place 3 stone brick stairs on each side of those stone blocks. After that, we'll then just need to place 3 more stone blocks in the middle of each side. Now finally, we're just going to go around and place 1 chisel stone brick above the middle stone block that we've just placed, going all the way kind of around this little center area or this little square, then 1 upside down stone brick stair on each side of that. So if you've done everything correctly, the fountain should be looking just like this. So now that the center of the fountain is done, we're going to focus on the foundation of the fountain. The foundation is essentially just the box that kind of goes around the base of the fountain to hide the redstone that's inside of it. So it's not entirely overly important, but there is certain aspects that do need to be able to be seen, because obviously there is parts of the glide lobby that are lower. For this part, as a note, I will be telling you what blocks we're going to be placing going all the way around the fountain. And if you are following on from my 2 previous series, you're going to notice some blocks are actually already placed, so just don't worry about those. And if needed, you may have to replace maybe 1 or 2. But to get started with the first layer, we're going to start at the pillar that we originally built to actually start building the fountain frame. And going towards the left, we're going to place 1 cobblestone, 1 stone brick, 1 cobblestone, 1 oak log, 1 cobblestone, 1 stone brick, and finally 2 dirt. Then we're going to skip 2 blocks and place 10 stone blocks, and that should take us to the corner. From here, we're going to place 7 stone, then 1 dirt, then we're going to skip 3 blocks and place 9 stone, which should take us to the next corner. Now we're going to place 9 stone, then 1 coarse dirt, then we're going to skip 6 blocks and then place 3 stone and finally 1 dirt, which should take us to the final corner. From here, we're going to work back towards where we originally started by placing 2 dirt, 3 stone, 1 dirt, 8 stone, 2 dirt, then lastly 3 stone. So now you should have a clear square outline of the fountain foundation. And from here, I'm just going to be doing the exact same as what I just done, but layer by layer. So for the second layer, we'll be placing 1 upside down cobblestone stair, 1 upside down stone brick stair, 1 upside down cobblestone stair, 1 oak log, 1 upside down cobblestone stair, and finally 1 stone brick. Then we're going to place 14 stone and then turn the corner and place another 9 stone. After that, we're going to skip 1 block and place 10 stone, and then we're going to turn the corner again and place another 20 stone. Then we're now going to turn the corner again and we're going to place 15 stone, 1 oak log, 1 cobblestone, 1 stone brick, and finally 1 cobblestone. Then moving on to the third layer, we'll place one cobblestone stair, one stone brick stair, one cobblestone stair, one oak log, one cobblestone stair again, and then one stone brick. Next, we're going to be placing 14 stone, and then we're going to turn the corner and then place another 5 stone. After that, we're going to be placing one piece of redstone dust, then 14 stone, then we're going to turn the corner again and place another 20 stone. Now we're going to be turning the corner again and placing 15 stone, then one oak log, then one cobblestone stair, one stone brick stair, and finally one more cobblestone stair. Now moving on to the fourth layer, we're going to start by placing one upside down cobblestone stair, one upside down stone brick stair, one upside down cobblestone stair, one oak log, one upside down cobblestone stair, and finally one stone brick. Then we're going to be placing 14 stone and then turning the corner and placing another 20 stone. After that, we're going to be turning the corner again and then placing again another 20 stone. Now for the last side, we'll be placing one stone brick, one cobblestone, and 12 stone. And then to finish this layer, we're going to be placing one oak log, one upside down cobblestone stair, one upside down stone brick stair, and finally one upside down cobblestone stair. Then moving on to the fifth layer, we're going to start by placing one cobblestone stair, one stone brick stair, one cobblestone stair, one oak log, one cobblestone stair again, and finally one stone brick. Next, we're going to be placing 14 stone, and then we're going to be turning the corner and placing another 20 stone. After that, we're going to be turning the corner again and placing 19 stone, and then on the last block, which will be technically the 20th, we're going to be placing one stone brick. Now going on to the last side, we're going to be placing one cobblestone stair, one stone brick stair, one cobblestone stair, one oak log, one cobblestone, and then one stone brick. Next, we're going to skip 7 blocks, and on the 8th, we're going to place one stone brick, one cobblestone, one oak log, one cobblestone stair, one stone brick, and one cobblestone stair. And now moving on to the 6th and final layer, we're going to start by placing one upside down cobblestone stair, one upside down stone brick stair, one upside down cobblestone stair, one oak log, one upside down cobblestone stair again, and then finally one stone brick. Next, we're going to be placing 14 stone, then we're going to be turning the corner and placing another 8 stone. Now we're going to be placing 3 stone brick stairs, then 1 redstone dust, 1 redstone repeater pointing towards the stone brick stairs that we just placed, and then 7 more redstone. Next, on the other side, we're going to be placing 19 stone and then 1 stone brick, and then we're going to turn the corner and start work on the final side. So to fully finish the foundation layers area, we're going to place one upside down cobblestone stair, one upside down stone brick stair, one upside down cobblestone stair, one oak log, one upside down cobblestone stair again, and then one stone brick. Then we're going to skip 7 blocks, and on the 8th we're going to place one stone brick, one upside down cobblestone stair, one oak log, one upside down cobblestone stair again, and then one upside down stone brick stair, and lastly one upside down cobblestone stair again. So if you have done everything that I've just said correctly and all 6 foundation layers correctly, they should be looking just like this. Now we are moving towards the end of the tutorial and we're going to start working on the redstone. This has been kind of the bane of my existence for a little while, and one of the big reasons that I've delayed actually releasing this tutorial and kind of put off really working on it, as some of the redstone for this lobby, or the original version, was really needing to be adjusted for the modern day Minecraft. However, my little changes that I made should allow it to work perfectly for both Bedrock and Java players. So to get started, we're first going to need to fill in the gaps around the square inside the fountain foundation with stone to bring the height inside the foundation to the same level as the single piece of redstone at the back. Now I am aware that that is a bit of a mouthful, and I do understand that that might sound like it's extremely complex, but I promise it's really not. Hopefully you're going to be seeing me doing it right here, right now. It's just as simple as placing in some stone and then just kind of raising the ground height to one single level. Anyway, once you've done that, we're going to come over to the one piece of redstone dust at the back left hand side of the lobby foundation, or the fountain foundation, and extend it back 2 blocks. Then we're going to extend it to the right, then we're going to place a repeater going to the right, and then 2 more dust going to the right. Then we're going to start extending the dust back towards the actual, I guess, front of the fountain, if you want to call it that. And we're going to start doing that by going 6 blocks back, then down 1 block. After that, we're going to place 1 redstone torch, then down 1 block, we're going to place 1 repeater pointing towards the front of the fountain. And to finish this part, we're going to place 3 more dust going back and 1 more repeater going towards the front of the fountain with 1 stone block in front of it. Now to continue with the redstone, we're going to simply add a torch tower. This tower should use 6 torches, and at the very top is where we're going to be placing our dispenser. As a quick note, if you're building this without watching the 2 previous series that I made on how to build minigames lobbies, you'll want to make sure that you actually remake the 4 holes that you take to go down to the abandoned lobby. Don't cover those up. But yeah, to finish this part of the tutorial up, we're going to place 1 redstone torch above this specific piece of stone, and then 2 more layers of stone all the way around the room. Again, as a really important note, just make sure you don't cover up the holes that you use to get down to the abandoned lobby. So we have thankfully almost finished with all of the redstone for the fountain, but we do have a small bit more to do. To begin finishing things up, we're going to place one layer of stone going all the way around the inside of the room. If you are confused with what I mean by that, just watch what I'm doing and I promise you'll fully understand. Now that we've done that, we're going to be wanting to do the exact same thing again, but before we actually start placing in the stone, we're going to want to place this specific sticky piston and 2 pieces of redstone dust down first so that we can actually use this redstone. Once you've done that though, then you can place in all the stone just like before, and also I'd really heavily recommend placing 2 polished andesite to cover the redstone up. It's actually how it's meant to be covered. Next, we're going to start placing our 20 sticky pistons, which is a little bit hard to verbally describe because it's kind of hard to tell you exactly where I'm placing them, but essentially there's going to be 3 at one side at the front, 3 at the other side of the front, and then the exact same as that at the back, and then 2 on each side, or technically 4 on each side. Hopefully from just watching me place them, you'll be able to figure it out. It's really not that complex, but it's kind of, again, very hard to verbally describe. Anyway, once you finish placing the pistons, we're just going to take our repeaters and place one behind each single piston. Then we're going to place the redstone dust and a couple of repeaters going around. Next, we're going to be placing in some really small last bits of redstone to connect the entire square area together, and of course our last sticky piston with the lever behind it so you can actually open the fountain. I do understand that was a little bit vague, by the way, but again, it's very easy to follow along with what I'm doing. Hopefully from just watching you can easily keep following along. And finally, finishing up the redstone area, all you're going to need to do is cover the pistons with stone and then place stone in front of the pistons and then test to make sure everything is working. Provided it is, you are actually done with the redstone for the fountain. Now, moving on to the last part of the Glide Lobby Fountain tutorial, we're going to be working on the fountain itself finally. Everything we've done thus far has been leading up to this, so let's just get started. First, starting in any corner of the fountain, we're going to be placing in 1 polished andesite, 1 stone, 1 polished andesite, 1 stone, 1 polished andesite, and then 1 cobblestone. After that, we're then just going to repeat this pattern all the way around the square. So now let's start on the fountain. Now for this part of the tutorial, I will sadly not be giving you any verbal instructions because what I'm going to be doing here is just placing blocks layer by layer, block by block. It's again one of those things that really isn't that complex to follow along with visually, but verbally to kind of follow instructions, it can just be so damn difficult. So hopefully for me just building it again, layer by layer, as slowly as I can, you can easily follow along and build the entire of the fountain. So now you've done everything correctly, the fountain should be looking just like this. Now there is a few extra little details that we need to fix or add or kind of change, and the first detail is actually adding the upside down stone brick stairs going around the edge of the upper area at the back of the fountain. The next detail is actually adding the water itself for the fountain, because of course it's meant to have water coming down or trickling down it. And just make sure to actually add an empty water bucket inside the dispenser for when the redstone is actually activated. And as a last little thing that's incredibly important, you're going to want to go and test the redstone to make sure it is all definitely working. To do this, just come to the little bit of redstone dust at the back of the fountain and activate it using a torch or a lever, and you'll see the water actually should turn off and the lever to open the center of the fountain is accessible. Now unfortunately, when I was doing this little test to make sure obviously all the redstone was working, which of course it was, I actually realized that I made a bit of a mistake, which was regarding essentially the redstone lamps that are in the center of the fountain. Basically I put the torch underneath them at the wrong area, and because of that you could actually access the torches, or the levers, excuse me, and fully see them when the fountain itself was open, which is a huge problem. Thankfully, to fix this, it isn't that hard at all though. All you're going to need to do is just dig down around 3 blocks on each corner, then connect them all together so you can easily walk around underneath the area and stuff, and then just place the levers on the underside of the roof block so that both lamps could be activated. I would also heavily recommend bringing a little torch down here because it gets incredibly dark and I couldn't see a thing once I filmed the last hole, but I would highly suggest keeping this little area 2 blocks tall so you can easily repair things if anything breaks, and keep a little exit area to come in and out of the area because it is kind of integral. It's good for maintenance, although no one's hopefully going to break this on your world, or you're not going to break it. If anything does break, you're going to want to make sure you got access to the redstone. But with that all being done, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this tutorial. I want to say thank you all so much for watching. If you did go to enjoy this tutorial and found it useful or interesting or fun, I mean, who finds a tutorial interesting? But if you found it useful or good, please share with your friends, drop a like, and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've got any issues or questions you'd like me to answer. I do also want to take a quick moment to really apologize for the huge 4-month delay for the start of this series. I know a bunch of you were very eager to get started with this series, but the first episode of any new series, especially one that is as important as this is to me, is always the most challenging. This episode had to be done perfectly so that both my viewers who have been building the lobby through the 2 previous series could follow along, but also so that any new viewers that come along with this series, obviously the 3rd installment now, would be able to build a lobby without even watching the previous ones. So I hope you all can understand. Anyway, next episode should be out next week, so stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you once again for watching.